Hello everyone, this is John from Coins, RPGs, and more. And tonight I want to do a quick video giving everyone a preview of what's likely coming up in the coming months for this channel, especially as we're heading on towards Christmas time and looking into the new year. First off, I wanted to give people a heads up that I am probably not going to be doing as many coin videos as I have done in the past. That is because my interests are shifting slightly, and also my ability to do fast turnaround on coin videos is not as great as it is for other products. So I'm not saying I won't do them ever again, because I will. They're not going to be a lot of them. So if you are primarily here for the coin videos, please understand that it's going to be few and far between, and I will not blame you if you decide to unsubscribe. Total respect. Just wanted to be honest and be upfront about that one. I still enjoy the hobby, and I still plan to pursue the hobby. It's just not going to be a very common sight on this channel, so be warned about that. So the second thing I want to talk about is the more aspect of this channel. And the more aspect of this channel was designed to cover pretty much anything else that I wanted to talk about that maybe didn't fit into the money collecting or the RPG aspect of the channel. I have been toying around with doing a cooking video, showing because my family has been asking me about doing a cooking video for the kind of food that I make, because I make food a slightly different way than everyone else due to some dietary concerns that I have. And I thought that might be kind of fun. So that's something I could potentially do later on. I also do want to do one or two videos showcasing me doing playing some virtual reality games, because I have a virtual reality headset. I have an Oculus Quest 2, and I can also hook it up to my computer to play some PC-based virtual reality, and there's a couple games on that I really enjoy. The big one right now is called Legendary Tales, and it's a dungeon crawling game similar in many aspects to the original Diablo game by Blizzard. Legendary Tales, though, since it's virtual reality, allows you to actually be you actually are that character, and so you are running through the dungeon, and you're physically climbing up the ladders in order to get places, and you got to climb up the rope or climb down the rope, and you've got your sword in your hand, sword and shield, and you're actually getting into positions and like ha ha, stab and shield bash. Or you can be holding you can be half swording your sword and ha ha. So it's a lot of fun. It's a very physical game, very taxing, very tiring actually. And I want to do a little bit more with that. So that's another more aspect. The other more aspect is the wargaming. I got a lot of reactions from the video when I showcased a space wargame. And I want to do more of that. Before I get to more of that, though, there are some ships that I need to build. Specifically, I have an entire fleet of Gamulan warships from the Star Blazers, or Space Battleship Yamato, if you prefer, universe. So I have about 9 of those ships that I need to build, and they're pretty significantly sized. And once I'm done with those, then I want to do this big battle, kind of recreating the first epic battle from the first episode of Space Battleship Yamato. And that's something that's coming up. So if you're interested in that, please let me know. So that's more or less what's going on in the more category of this channel. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this channel, the thing where my inspiration, my passion really is, and that's the RPGs. I've been into RPGs since I was in junior high, and I had some interest in it before then, but it never quite really became anything. But ever since then, it's been a passion of mine. And that's I realized that that's really the direction I want to take this channel more than anything else. I've even considered trying to change the channel's name to reflect that, and just taking the coins part out and just doing RPGs and more. If I can make that happen, then I probably will, just to be honest with my viewers and myself about what our focus is. So let's talk about RPGs. There's some RPGs that I want to showcase coming forward right now. Still going to do more videos with the Eldritch role-playing game, especially while the author Dan Cross is doing his Kickstarter for that. I want to show my support to Dan. Uh, and he's been very supportive of the channel. I actually got some more materials from him today that are going to allow. I want to read through them a bit before I showcase them on the next video, where I'll do a solo play using the characters Vigloff and Gerard in order to kind of show how things like feats and maybe how magic works a little bit, yeah, through an actual play session of me playing against myself, of course. I am highly inspired by Me, Myself, and Die by Trevor Duvall. So I want to be honest about that too. If you like Trevor, if you like the solo gaming thing, or if you're interested in that, I highly recommend Me, Myself, and Die. It is a fantastic channel. The man has amazing production values, blows me out of the water, so much. But and full respect to him, because he doesn't have a team that does things for him, as far as I know. This is a one-man show, so I have a huge respect for that man. And I want to kind of take what lessons that I've learned from him and apply those to this channel as well, especially when I do solo gaming. So I've been working on getting a lot more solo gaming style materials stockpiled so that I can do that, including I've actually been painting some miniatures. I have them. They're far off camera, so you can't see them, but they're over there. Trust me. And I painted up the figure that I used for Vigloff in that previous combat video where I was showcasing for Eldritch. So that's done. And there's more terrain that's been painted. I want to use a lot more of that stuff in future solo videos. At least I'd like to, in order to create more of a visual aesthetic for all of you. I also have some terrain that I've made myself. Here's an example of things that I've made myself that are kind of fun, and I do want to do a video about that process, about how those are made, because I think that's a fun process and it's not too difficult if you're interested in that sort of thing. So if you want to know how to make affordable, I'm not going to call it cheap because it's not, but affordable three-dimensional gaming terrain, then let me know and I'll do a longer segment on that terrain that I've made and how it works, because I think that's kind of a neat process. But again, we're going to go back to RPGs. We're going to be concentrating more on that. So I'm going to do RPG terrain videos. I want to do RPG combat videos using terrain, videos about how to make terrain, or what terrain I buy, which I think is worth buying, as opposed to what you probably should ignore. I'm not going to have a lot of negative videos. I'm not going to sit here and dish salt about different creators. If there's things that I don't like, I'm probably not going to talk about it. Not because I don't want to be like I'm objective, but that's why I stopped calling my videos reviews, and I'm calling them recommendations. If I'm going to show a product here, whether that's an RPG or a gaming aid, it's because I recommend it. It's because it's something that it's fun. I'm not pretending to be objective here. I'm not pretending to be Siskel and Ebert giving you a thumbs up or thumbs down or something. I'm going to tell you about the things that I like. If I occasionally have a gripe about something, I'll be honest about that. But for the most part, I want to be positive here. I think there are enough critics for RPG systems out there, and there are enough people that are critical because they like being critical, and I think that's great for those people that want that. But I want to be honest with myself and with all of you. That doesn't make me happy. I have a lot of respect for Professor Dungeon Master from Dungeon Craft, because he does that a lot, and he talks about the things that he likes, and he has a great mindset about the game. He's also been a huge inspiration for me in how I present my channel and how I want to talk about things. He's not the only person that has inspired me. There's also Hankering for an Ale from Runehammer is another chief inspiration, although I don't have his charisma. And I think that if I tried to have his charisma, a lot of you would be like, he can get away with that. I can't. So, but dude, if you ever see this, full respect. you actually helped me love D&D 5th edition again after I had stopped loving it for a while, and helped me find love for the game again when I was going through a bad slump. So thank you so much. Your room design videos especially were amazing. Professor Dungeon Master, same deal. I mean, love and respect. Anyway, so moving on to RPGs, what RPGs we can expect to see. So I've got a few that I'm going to be going through real quick because I want to do more in-depth videos of them later. Dungeon Crawl Classics, definitely want to do some work on this one. It's cool. I have a love-hate relationship with it, but it's mostly love, and that's why I want to talk about the funnel. I want to showcase the funnel to Dungeon Crawl Classics. Iron Claw is a bit odd. It's a bit out there, and I love odd and out there. Therefore, I'm going to do something on Iron Claw. It's got some mechanics in there. Once I get my head wrapped around them, I think they're going to be really cool. They kind of inspired me to think about stuff for when I'm creating my own RPG system. So I think it deserves a spot on the channel at some point. Not saying when, just at some point. Swords and Wizardry, the box set. I want to do I've already like unboxed this set, but at some point I want to do more with this one because I love this box set. It's not perfect. There are some things wrong with it that I want to talk about, but for the most part, nothing but love. It would still be fairly true. I mean, the content is fantastic, and Swords and Wizardry is my jam. There's another system that I want to do a larger video on, and that is Backswords and Bucklers. And Backswords and Bucklers is Elizabethan role-playing using D&D White Box, or Swords and Wizardry White Box as the base system. And this actually has some of the best world building in a small scale system that I've ever seen. It's inspiring. It's wonderful. I want to do a longer form video on it, especially showcasing the Tavern Trawling book, because I use this stuff in completely non-related games. They're great. Okay, another system I want to talk about at some point is Bare Bones Fantasy, because I think that's really cool. It's got some cool ideas in it. So if you are curious about Bare Bones Fantasy, I believe, I'm not going to talk about it now. If you're a fan of that, let me know. If you have seen it before, you want to see more about it, let me know. And let's see, there's a few other books that I want to go over in quick succession. Raiders of the Lost Artifacts. I want to do something on that one. I think it's cool. Colonial Troopers, maybe, maybe not. It's fun. I might do a video on it. Warriors of the Lost Planet. Neat ideas. Not quite a fan of the setting necessarily. I like the concept of the setting. I'm not sure I like the execution of the setting. Let's put it that way. Those are monster books. We don't need to go talk about that. Freebooters. This takes the cake. This is swashbuckling in the 18th century, but set to D&D white box kind of rules, and I love that idea, so I want to do something with that one in the future. Into the Unknown is a series of books that kind of takes 5th edition rules and brings them back to a kind of D&D original edition style retro clone, and I think it's a neat idea, and I want to give it a shot on the camera at some point, kind of see how that actually plays out, especially in solo play. I think that's cool. The Fantasy Trip, want to do a lot of work with this one. I have a lot of material for the Fantasy Trip. Once I finish with another system that I'm working on, I want to spend a lot of time with the Fantasy Trip at some point, at least as much as I can stand before I kind of go, I need to do something new, because I'm a hobby magpie. I love picking from different things. All right, Dark Dungeons. I want to kind of touch on this one at some point. I'll do a video about the book once I've had more time to kind of read the book, because it is basically rules cyclopedia in a retro clone. And I think that's pretty cool. But I'm going to set that aside because it's not a priority. All right, and one book that is something I want to make a priority about is Tiny Dungeon. I really want to do a segment on Tiny Dungeon. I want to actually use this one in some solo play for a bit and really run it through its paces for all of you, because I backed this system, the first edition, when it was first released, and I fell in love with it. This is the second edition of the game, and it's kind of was edited by a different author who purchased the system from Smoking Salamander, and I think this is a neat idea. There's a lot of neat stuff here. I think it's worth your time and efforts, and certainly worth my time and effort. All right, moving forward. Knave. I'd like to do a little bit more with Knave at some point. Enough said. All right. Cipher system. I've done a bit with the cipher system already, but I do want to do more with it. I want to spend more time doing a solo play session with the characters that I made, as well as maybe one or two other characters, and really dig into the cipher system with all of you, because there's a lot here that I love, and it's something that I really think deserves the time and attention. So that's really coming up. Once basically my plan, unless something happens to completely blow my mind and change what's going on, once I finish up with Eldritch and do as much with that system as I feel that I can, I do want to switch gears back to Cipher system and spend more time with this system, spend more time with playing through various scenarios, and showcasing how the system is truly awesome. So you can expect that to come up sooner rather than later. But another one that's on my that I picked up, I bought this system during Free RPG Day, and it is 7th Sea. I have never played 7th Sea before. I haven't even read the book yet. It is something that is coming up. I do want to do more with it. I want to present more with it because I think it's really cool, but I'm not there yet. But it is on the radar. So is Pendragon, actually. I've had a few people recommend Pendragon to me. So I did order Pendragon, and in a couple of weeks, maybe by Christmas, I should have my copy of the 5th edition, or 5.2, I think it is, edition of Pendragon. So you can look forward to that. Not right away, but it'll happen at some point. I do have another Kickstarter coming. It's supposed to arrive this weekend, and that is the Twilight 2000 reprint or remake of that system. And it's being remade by the same people, if I remember correctly, who did Forbidden Lands. I've not played Forbidden Lands, so this will be my first foray into that style of system, but I'm looking forward to it. I really want to do I want to do an unboxing for that system, show you what was in the Kickstarter, show you what the game looks like, but I also wouldn't mind doing at least one, maybe two solo sessions with that system. Excuse me, just to give everyone a taste, because I think the setting sells it. And that's really everything that's coming up. Oh, there's a Frontier Space game, which is a retro clone version of the Star Frontiers RPG system. So that's another one that's I do have coming. I want to do some more with that, and then I've got some. There's some stuff coming for 5th edition, but we don't really talk about 5th edition D&D on this channel that much. It's not that I don't like it. There are so many channels that talk about 5th edition D&D, and it's hard to find channels that talk about RPGs. So I want my primary focus to be on other games that I love, other than 5th edition D&D. So please don't take this to mean that I'm hating on 5th edition. I'm not. I just understand that it's not where my love is, and so I'm not going to inundate you with that material. Anyway, thank you so much for the time. If any of those that I've mentioned is a system or an idea or a video that you want to, you hear this and you're like, I want to see that one, then please like this video, leave me a comment down below and tell me what it is that you want to see. If you want to see that cooking video, if you'd love to see this guy go through the kitchen and pretend he knows what he's doing and cook you a meal on camera, let me know, because I will do that for you. I will absolutely cook a meal. If you actually like, man, dude, why are you doing all these RPG things? I want to see more of that war game stuff. Like, do that. Bring me more of that. Get better lighting and finish those models and show me that big battle. Let me know, because I'd love to do that. And if there's an audience for it, then that gives me the inspiration to do more. If one of those systems that I've showcased here today is something that you just want to see more of, like, dude, get to like Cipher system now, man. I want to see more Cyber System now. Or you're like 7C, 7C is my jam. Okay, let me know. Or like, Nave, man, or the Fancy Trip, dude, or whatever it is. If there's one of those systems that makes you be like, yeah, then let me know in the comments below, and I will, I'll bump it up on the radar. I'll make it so it comes faster. I'll do more with it, because I'm doing this for my own enjoyment, but I also would love to do things that make other people happy. So thank you for your time. I hope you have a marvelous day, and peace be with all of you. Bye-bye.